Level 1. You arrive at night. Your suitcase is heavy with textbooks and expectations. The airport lights blur. You can still taste home in the back of your throat. You teach yourself to breathe slower. You learn to read signs in a new rhythm. You hold a map like a promise. You practice introductions behind closed doors. You rehearse, "I am fine," until it sounds true. Small victories matter. Finding your dorm key feels like finding a new pulse. The first cup of coffee where no one knows your name is a ceremony. You count the stars differently now. You wonder which sky keeps you. This is the beginning of learning how to be alone without loneliness consuming you. You journal in short sentences. You take photos of fluorescent lit streets. You tell yourself, 1 week, 1 month, one class at a time. You sleep with the window cracked, listening to a new city's breath. You are starting to stretch. This is not home yet. It is not foreign forever either. You are in between. And that in-betweenness teaches you to notice everything. It sharpens you. You begin to listen to the small details of your own heartbeat. Level 2. You step into classrooms that feel like arenas. You learn the cadence of professors' questions. You raise your hand. Your voice trembles at first. You watch others speak and translate confidence into action. You learn that participation is a currency. Grading rubrics become secret maps. Office hours become lifelines. You schedule time like it is a subject to be studied. You realize the syllabus is both a plan and a promise. You miss the familiar way classes used to feel, but you find a new intimacy in study groups at midnight. You trade notes, snacks, and stories. You realize intellectual risk is smaller when shared. You begin to argue with ideas, not people. You discover that asking for help is not admission of weakness. It is strategy. You navigate unfamiliar academic norms. You learn citation styles like new alphabets. You accept that failure will be part of the curriculum. Each red ink comment is a map to improvement. You learn to translate critique into progress. You start to believe in your capacity to adapt. You measure growth by the questions you now ask. You are changing. Quietly, you are becoming someone who can reinvent themselves. Level 3. Money feels like a constant calculation. You count dollars the way you used to count days until home. You learn to budget like it's a minor art form. Instant noodles become gourmet memories. You work shifts, freelance, tutor, anything that keeps the lights on and the dreams alive. You wear thrifted jackets like armor. You learn the market of opportunity and compromise. Scholarships and part-time jobs are lifelines and lessons. You face decisions where cost and possibility collide. You weigh a plane ticket against an internship. You learn to delay some comforts for future freedoms. You make small sacrifices with big intentions. You discover resourcefulness lives in your choices. You find ways to celebrate that don't require money. Late night walks, shared playlists, library hideouts. You begin to redefine value. Not everything that shines costs a lot. You become deliberate about what you spend. Time, money, energy. That discipline becomes a muscle. It will serve you beyond this moment. Level 4. Homesickness arrives like a season. It is sudden and then persistent. You cry in unannounced moments. A song, a smell, a holiday commercial becomes a portal. You call home and hear the same voices, further away. You build rituals to bridge the distance. You cook one recipe the way your family does. You learn to host your own little traditions. You make postcards of mundane days to send back to people who raised you. You find community in the most unexpected rooms. A neighbor becomes a friend. A barista learns your order. You start finding language for your loneliness. You let people see the edges. Vulnerability is hard-earned, but necessary. You allow others to carry some of your weight. You practice forgiveness of yourself and the world. You understand grief and growth can coexist. They both ask for space. You grow the habit of small celebrations. You celebrate a past midterm like a festival. Those small festivals stitch your new life together. Level 5. Identity becomes negotiable. You pick up cultural habits like souvenirs. Sometimes you feel like a collage. You speak in fragments of multiple accents. You learn to translate not just language but emotion. You become fluent in context. You adapt without losing your core. There are moments you fear losing parts of yourself, and moments you discover new parts that feel like gifts. You learn to carry both proudly. You find communities that honor both your origin and your present. You teach others about your holidays, your food, your jokes. You realize your story matters in classroom discussions and at dinner tables. You become an ambassador of your own truth. You practice correcting mispronunciations gently. You practice laughing at cultural misunderstandings. You are learning to hold complexity without needing to simplify. Belonging becomes less about fitting in and more about being seen. You craft a version of home that spans oceans. That spanning becomes strength. Level 6. Your mental health demands attention. Stress is a background hum. You learn to schedule rest like research. Therapy, counseling centers, peer groups, they are not last resorts, they are tools. You give yourself permission to pause. You learn grounding techniques that actually work. Breathing exercises, walking, naming 5 things you can see. You create boundaries with kindness. You say no to extras when you need space. You check in with your friends. You learn the difference between being busy and being productive. You celebrate small, honest wins. You adopt rituals that stabilize you. A morning coffee, a weekly call home, a walk at dusk. You become better at predicting when you will need help. You make a plan before things break. Crisis becomes less catastrophic when you prepare for it. You learn that resilience is built, not inherited, and that asking for help is part of resilience. Level 7. You begin to see time differently. Short-term decisions shape long-term identity. You think about internships, visas, choices like maps with forks. You learn to hold multiple futures in your hands. You decide where to stay, where to go, who to become. Each choice is both practical and existential. You practice humility and ambition together. You imagine a career that honors your roots and your growth. You keep an eye on opportunities and an ear for your own quiet truth. You accept uncertainty as a companion. You measure success by alignment. Are you learning? Are you kind? Are you moving toward your values? You understand that some doors close so others can open. You carry lessons home, no matter where home becomes. You have built a resilience forged by small decisions and brave conversations. You are more adaptable, more whole, more honest with yourself. You have learned to steward your choices. The city lights no longer overwhelm you. They greet you like invitations. You breathe differently now. You know your limits and your reach. You are not finished, but you are farther than you were. And that distance is something to hold with quiet pride.